Guru Paramparam. Oh.
Namaste, Swamiji. Today we have
Namaste,
a
namaste.
little different type of question. So it is a probably a psychiatric or a social nature of that question makes probably little more interesting than our regular context,
Yeah,
right? You say in our social behavior, especially in this modern world, people as trying they have a tendency to see things either good or bad, either make it ideal or completely idol kind of a thing, something which I would like to, with all the positive thing, all the virtues as a bimbam or a mirror, or we see it as a completely wrong person, completely bad. Either is a ideal or completely idealization or a devaluation. Either a person or an event, we trying to think it is either very good, completely extreme positive side of it, or the extreme. We trying to portray it rather than seeing the complete picture of a person or an event with its full negatives or a bad, whatever the combination is. We're trying to perceive it as a completely good or an idol or completely
yeah,
bad. And the social medias like Facebook and all, it is streaming, it is picking the post and bringing the friends, which is according to my taste also. Whenever whoever is sharing my view is only by friends. So in reality, I am seeing only one side of the coin always. And this tendency is growing or is going down, or was it before in our event? What is the spiritual answer to this question, or a comment of this scenario?
yeah. See, when we analyze a problem, we must either be in the middle or above that problem. We can be in the middle, as asked by Arjuna, Senayoru Bhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechuta. O Achyuta, O Krishna, please take this chariot to the middle part of both the armies. Arjuna was a member of, not even a member, a leader of Pandava side, but still he wanted to be in the middle. Or we can be above both the parties. So this is the attitude we must have, or this must be the attitude we have to have while analyzing a situation, a given scenario. Let it be connected with a person, let it be connected with a group of persons, or even something connected with the nations or the world. Whichever that be, we must either be above or be in the middle. Then only our analysis will be impartial and correct. Then only our inferences or our evaluations will be correct. But what happens in our daily life? We will be a party and we will be evaluating things or persons or circumstances from our own single eye. We have two eyes. Netrendriya is one. The sense is one. There are no two senses to see. But that sense to see is working through two eyes. We have only one sense to hear, but it have two ears, two portals. See the message in the very constitution of human being. See that message. So we have to take input from two sources or both sides, analyze inwardly, and reach at a conclusion or an inference. That is the message we are getting from the very style of constitution of our own body structure. And there is one more point. Many a times we react to situations, to persons, and by reacting, our faculty to response that slowly dwindles or even vanishes. Actually, we have to respond to situations. We have to give replies to questions. But instead of responding or replying, normally we resort to reacting. This is another aspect. And when our vision is one-sided, even though we are having two eyes, when our vision is one-sided, we will analyze or evaluate persons or things or circumstances only according to that and paint accordingly. We will be giving a clean sheet to somebody, and we will be putting all negativities on some others. But this is not the approach we have to have. See, Bhagavan Vedavyasa, he gave a big canvas which is called the Mahabharata. Very big canvas. How many peoples are coming? Many people with complex behavior, different guna structures, entirely different capabilities. Men, women, many. But their individuality is painted without any preconceived notions, without resorting to any uh, single vision. For example, take the case of great men like Bhishma or Arjuna, painted in the Mahabharata. Both their positive and negative sides are well narrated there. By doing so, Bhagavan Vedavyasa teaches us, even within a man of virtue, there will be many negative aspects. And even in people whom we are considering as bad or having all negative qualities, within them there are many positive aspects. So this is the painting we are getting from Mahabharata. Why? Because Bhagavan Vedavyasa wanted to teach us to do impartial analysis, impartial evaluation. And we have to realize this fact that within people having all virtues, there will be many, many negativities. And even in people with all sorts of negativities, there will be many, many positive sides. So by going through Mahabharata, what we get? We get the correct style of evaluation, how to evaluate. This knowledge we must have. So uh, if we are getting that know-how, then we can take persons, analyze them, and even if there are many many negativities within them, we can take the positive aspect and promote them. And within people having positive sides, we will realize what negativities they are having, and we can keep them away as far as that matter is concerned, without making him an enemy. Let me repeat once more: without making him an enemy. Huh. we can we can separate, or we can differentiate qualities from a person having that qualities. The habit of stealing, we can separate it from a thief. A man who is always speaking lies, a liar. We must be able to separate two aspects, that of lying and the liar. This ability we must have. This we will get from a detailed study of Mahabharata. There's no doubt in that. But what happens, as we have seen earlier, instead of using our two eyes, we are using one, and we are getting one vision. And then with that vision, we will be painting somebody as bad or somebody as good. Those whom we have painted as good, we will superimpose all sorts of virtues on him. He is great, this, that, and vice versa. This is wrong. This is wrong. So we must that ability to be in the middle and analyze a situation. But why we cannot say for certain? But what we are seeing nowadays is uh, nowadays, especially uh, along with the increase in the volume of social media, people are more and more becoming one-sided. That emotional balance, and the balance between emotional level and intellectual, that is going down. And we are reacting, we are starting to react. Emotional level is going high. That is very bad indeed. So a sort of normally, normally we are analyzing psychological problems personally, but nowadays what we are seeing is this problem is becoming a social thing. The social psyche, it have to be repaired. We have to treat that. So a detailed study of scriptures, especially Mahabharata, will help us to develop this attitude, much wanted attitude. But nowadays, what is happening is we are seeing everywhere, as you have put aptly in your question, people are painting. Somebody is having all good qualities, and somebody has all worse qualities. This is not good. We must not resort to that. Who are we to judge others? We don't have a right to judge. But there are situations wherein we must have a clear picture of some persons or some situations, and then we have to be in the middle. We have to learn what are the things. We have to analyze the pros and cons, then only reach at an inference. But for this, some sort of maturity must be there within. This maturity is there in the individual level and in the social level. A sort of individual maturity and social maturity we must have. How we can develop the social maturity? It is possible only through a correct system of education. Correct system of education that begins from our home. Our mother is the first teacher. Then comes the father. Then other formal teachers and schools and all. The system of education must inculcate this correct attitude in the society wherein emotional and intellectual levels have a perfect balance. If we can do that, then this sickness, social sickness, the social psychological problem, this is a social psychological problem. This we have to treat. Otherwise, the condition of the world will become more and more worse. Because I am pinpoint somebody as worthless, and somebody else as having all worthless. Both these evaluations are wrong. Why? Because I am wrong, or my vision is wrong. So here we have to have a correct approach, and by studying our scriptures, there is no doubt we will get this attitude, and this we have to inculcate in our society, and that is possible only through a correct system of education. These are the basic things. If we are going to detail, there are many, many more aspects we have to discuss. But this is the basic thing. If anything more to be added, please tell that.
Namaste, Swamiji. Thank you.
Namaste.
And Kamalaji, you can unmute yourself and ask the next question.
Swamiji,
Namaste.
namaskar.
Namaste.
I just wanted a clarification because in Upadesha Saram, the fourth verse, Kaya Vangmana Karya Muttama. There the Karya meaning is said that what is to be done. Then in the Shastra, when we usually say Karanam Karyam, cause and effect. So can we connect, or is this a different, altogether different way, in different meaning we have to take it?
Yeah. When we are talking about Karya and Karana, Karana is the cause and Karya is the effect. Karyam or Karaniyam. Karyam, Karaniyam, Kartavyam. Let me repeat once more. Karyam, Kartavyam, and Karaniyam. All these in the correct sense means to be done. To be done. That is the literal meaning. Karyam is to be done. Kartavyam is to be done. And Karaniyam is to be done. This is the real literal meaning of the term. In the Samskrita Vyakarana, there are some suffixes, some pratyas, which we will join to these roots. And when Aniya is joined with Kru Dhatu, it is Karaniyam. When it is joined with Ya, the same Kru Dhatu, it will become Karyam. And when Tavya is joined, the same Dhatu will become Kartavyam. Meaning is the same, to be done. But in our common language, we uses that term, that is Karyam, to mean the effect of some Karana, the effect of some cause. And in the shloka you have cited, that comes in the Upadesha Saram, Kaya Vangmana Karyamuttamam. There, the literal meaning have to be taken. That is, what is to be done by Kaya, what is to be done by Vak, and what is to be done by Mana. That is, by this gross body and words and the mind. So the karyas of those are that which we are doing with the help of the body, that is kaya karyam. That which we are doing with the words, that is verbal, that is vak karyam. And that which we are doing or which we have to do with the mind is mana karyam. But they are, first is pujanam, first is worshipping, that we are doing with the help of this body, this gross body, this physical body. Then with words we are doing japa, pujanam japa. And with the mind we are doing chindanam, constant remembrance or contemplation. So these are the karyams. So here what we are doing with the help of this body, words and mind, they are said. So there is a there we are taking the literal meaning of the term karyam, to be done, to be done. So there is no confusion, no need for confusion. When we are using the term karya in the karya karana bandha, that is cause effect relation, it means that which is being done by that karana, by that cause. That is the karya. That is the karya. So there is nothing to confuse. I think it is clear. Is it clear?
Kamalaji, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Namaste. Namaste.
Rameshji, you can ask your next question.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaste. Namaste.
I have read this in internet, not read through any books. A sloka. I just want to know about it. Two questions about it. It starts with Rubam Ruba Vardidasya Bhavado Dhyayena Yat Kalpidam and ends with Kshandavyam Jagadisha Tat Vigaladam Doshatrayam Matkridam. First question is it really written by Acharya Swamiji, Shankaracharya Swamiji, or is it attributed to him? My second question is this a real shloka which we can explain the transactional reality, the Vyavaharika Satya from Paramarthik Satya, the absolute reality?
So the first question is, even though the reality is above all names and forms, for the purpose of meditation, we are attributing many names and forms to the Supreme. As aptly said in the Brahma Samhita, it's a part of the Pancharatras of Vaishnava Tantra text. There it is said, Upasakanam Karyartha Brahmano Rupa Kalpana. We are attributing forms in Brahman or to Brahman for the sake of Upasakas. Because without the help of any name or form, we cannot think an ideal or a principle without the help of name or form. So we are attributing names to the nameless. We are attributing forms to the formless. So in one of the stotras of Bhagavan Bhashyakara, there is that verse. I'm not seeing that. I think it is a part of Shivaparadha Kshamapana Stotram, but I'm not seeing that. Let us see. That is, you are formless, but I attributed forms to you. So please pardon me. Excuse me for that. Actually, you are formless. But for the purpose of meditation, I attributed form. Actually, you are nameless, but I attributed name. So please forgive me. So this verse is written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. There is no doubt in that. But as you have asked this question, there is something more I have to add, not as an answer to your question. Because in the present day internet media, just to criticize or vilify Hindu Dharma, many are using this shloka. Many are using this shloka just to criticize Hindu Dharma, vilify our Shastras and our Anushtanas. Because they are saying even Shankaracharya himself wrote that he do not have any form. And you Hindu fools are attributing forms to God, which is against the teachings of your own teachers. So you discard this. You discard this. You come to our fold. We are not at all using any form. This is the greatest religion. You come to us. See, we have to realize the correct problem. This type of writings possess. See, Ishvara is formless. Ishvara is with form. You can worship him with the help of forms. You can contemplate him without forms. This is as per your own capability. He is above all. But we have the limitation of human beings. And that limitation is for contemplating or for meditating, just for thinking itself, we must have the help of names and forms. A principle without form, we cannot think of it. In the initial stage, slowly and slowly, we will develop that faculty and we can rise above the forms that is in the plane of the Upanishads, in the Vedanta. But when we are in the common man plane, we must have the help of names, we must have the helps of forms. And see, in all religions, we are accepting or we have to accept this, this concept of name and form. For example, we are attributing names. We are attributing names like Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, and again hundreds and thousands of names for each deities. And other religions also, they are calling Allah, they are calling Jehovah. All those are names. If there is a concept of name, the concept of form must invariably follow, because name and form will stand together. They will stay together. And you see, there are many names attributed to God in all religions. For example, in Islam, There are stotras using many names of the Lord. There is one stotra which is called Asmaul Husna. Asmaul Husna. There are 97 names of Allah. And Acharya Vinoba Bhave, he wrote a commentary for that, Asmaul Husna. And therein he cites similar names from Vishnu Sahasranama. See, each and every name of the nameless, it shows different attributes. For example, all powerful, all pervading, most merciful. So, to mean all this, there are different names. All these names are attributed. Actually, Ishvara is nameless. In the same way, forms are there. Go to Quran and go to Bible. You will see in his form he created human beings. He created human beings as a replica. What does it mean? Ishvara is conceived even in those religions as having forms. And always Ishvara is called he, never she, always he. So Ishvara is a male god. Ishvara is a male god. They cannot even think about female god. Ishvara is always male. So to call him male, he must have masculine properties within him. His body must be masculine. And if you read Old Testament, we will get clear pictures of such a powerful, all-powerful masculine God. So it is meaningless to say we are worshipping nameless, formless God, and you are worshipping God with names and forms. It is utter nonsense. Without the help of name and form, you cannot concentrate, you cannot focus your mind on a principle. In Sanatana Dharma, we are accepting both these planes. That is, we are accepting God as having form, and we are accepting God as formless. Both these aspects, just like water. Water is H2O, we know that. But the same water, it becomes vapor. It is in the gaseous form, but still the material is H2O. And in the normal temperature, it is in the liquid form. The thing is H2O. And in extreme cold, it will become solid, ice. Material is H2O. So material being the same, it manifests as solid, as liquid, and as gas. This is only an example. In the same way, we are accepting God in the form, God without form. So God with form and God without form, both are there. So we are attributing names and forms to the nameless and formless for our meditation. That is the sense. Yes, such a verse is there. But there, I am not remembering that exact verse, that shloka. But there, I remember you chanting dhyayena. It is not dhyayena, it is dhyanena. Rupam rupa vivarjidasya yat dhyanena yat parikalpitam. And some more parts are there. I am not remembering now. We can refer and take that shloka. And what was your next part?
Second part, I think this is a good example of demonstrating, how we move from transactional reality, vyavaharika satya, to an absolute reality. So when we say an example, this is how the other one is the transactional reality, and this is the absolute reality.
Yeah.
Is it something that
See,
you can say that?
the reality that is satyatva. Really satya and reality is satyatva. We are approaching that in many levels or from many standpoints. First is vyavaharika satya. Vyavaharika satya is transactional reality. That is in the transactional level. And there is a pratibhasika satya. Pratibhasika satya is only in the what you call you are seeing that, you are experiencing that, but it is not in the transactional plane. It is just like an illusion. Then think about that. These two we can discuss first. First, take the example of a pot made of clay or an ornament made of gold. Whatever be, you can take different examples. You take a vessel made of steel or aluminum, whatever it is. So now this ornament is there. Let it be a bangle, let it be a chain, let it be a ring, whatever it is. It is there. You cannot wear a bangle around your neck. And a chain is not supposed to be used as a bangle. Both are different. So their utility is different. They are there in the transactional plane. We are transacting with them. They are there. But for them to sustain, for them to stand, there must be the basic reality. What is that? That is the reality of the gold. When gold is there, bangle can be there. And we can take that bangle, use it, and many transactions we can do with that bangle or with that chain. But what is the material? Material is gold. Before it was a bangle, Before it was a chain, it was gold. And when it is a chain, it is gold. And when the chain goes, when that bangle goes, even then gold will be there. So in all times, in the past, in the present, and in the future, gold will be there, gold was there, and gold is there. So here in this example, what is real? Real is gold. Then what about bangle and chain? Are they not real? They have reality only in the transactional plane, not absolute reality. Not absolute reality. They have reality only in the transactional plane. So that we are calling, we have a Harika Satya, transactional reality. And for that reality to stand, the very base of that very substratum, which is giving that reality, is the absolute reality. And then there are other types of realities which we can see only in the phenomenal plane. Only in the phenomenal plane. For example, we are seeing mass of water in deserts, especially in summer, the hot summer. If we go to desert, we will see water, mass of water. Even in straight roads, we can see this phenomena. This phenomenon we can observe. Straight roads, let it be concrete road or a road made of asphalt. We will see, especially in the afternoon time, mass of water. And even we can see the uh, images of other vehicles in that water, reflected. But we know there is no water. But we are seeing that water. We are seeing, we are experiencing that water. You cannot say there is no water. We are seeing, we are experiencing. But we know for certain there is no water. There is only that asphalt road is there. Then this type of reality are there only in the observed plane. They have no reality. But they have reality in that plane only. There is no transactional reality. There is no absolute reality. That is only a manifestation. So, for these two realities to sustain, there must be absolute reality as the very base. Only if a road is there, we will see such illusions. For an illusion to happen, there must be a base. And for a transactional reality to come, there must be a base. And what is this base? That is the absolute reality. So these are different types of realities which are discussed in Vedanta Shastra. And actually reality is only one. Only one reality is there, and that is the absolute reality. All others are just creations, just superimpositions, just manifestations on the base. Base is absolute reality. This is the answer. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Next question is
Namaste.
Babuji, Babu Sadiji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.
Swamiji, just wanted to check with you. Did the Triguna concept, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, come into Vedanta from Sankhya? And did the Sankhya actually precede Advaita Vedanta? And the other clarification I want was, is Mimamsa part of, is it another name for Vedanta? Or if not, can you just explain what Mimamsa is?
Yeah. See, actually, the Siddhanta, the principle, Siddhanta is principle, the principle of or connected with the Triguna. It is a purely Vedic concept. It's a Vedic concept. And the discussions about Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas are purely Vedic. And all the 6 systems of our darshana, that is Pura Mimamsa, Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Sankhya, Yoga, and Vedanta. All these 6 systems of our darshanas are relying on Veda. Based on Veda, based on the vision of Veda, all these 6 darshanas are there. So all the darshanakaras who wrote the basic text of this darshana, they relied upon Veda, the Vedic vision. That is why these 6 darshanas are called Astika darshanas. They are taking Veda as the Parama Pramana. The Parama Pramana, that is the means of knowledge. They are accepting Veda as the means of knowledge. And Sankhya took the concept of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas from Veda. So also Vedanta also took that concept from Veda. There is no doubt in that. But what happens as Sankhyans are explaining, Sankhya philosophers are explaining the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas gunas, these 3 gunas, they are explaining. And the very basis of Sankhya itself is on this 3 guna. That is explanation of Prakriti. So, as Sankhyas are explaining Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas very well or in detail, many scholars are saying that Vedantins took the concept of Triguna from Sankhyas. It is not correct. Many scholars have written so. They're lecturing that Vedantins took the concept of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas from Sankhya. No, it's absolutely wrong. Then what is correct? Sankhyans, they took this from Veda. Vedantins, they also took this from Veda. Because this is purely a Vedic concept. This we have to realize. That is the answer to your first part of that question. Then what was the second part?
Now, the second part is whether Sankhya preceded Vedanta, and also, I just wanted to some clarification on Mimamsa.
Yeah. See, we cannot say or we must not say Sankhya preceded Vedanta. Because when we say so, some misunderstanding may come. That is, Vedanta is a natural development from Sankhya Darshana. No. All these acharyas, to arrive at a conclusion or to get an answer to the riddle of this phenomenal existence, how to get rid of sorrows, how to reach at the bliss, they contemplated, they again and again, they contemplated on Veda, they used their thinking faculty and reached at different inferences or conclusions, and they wrote darshanas in the form of aphorisms, sutras, and so many darshanas came into existence. So Kapila Maharshi, in his own view, he analyzed the problem and he wrote Sankhya Darshana. And Badarayana, he wrote Vedanta Sutras, Brahma Sutras, which is the very basic text of Uttara Mimamsa. So Vedanta is not a developed state of Sankhya, nor is Sankhya the forerunner of Vedanta. And we cannot say for certain this is first darshana and this is second darshana. Why? All these are based on Veda. The period of Veda, we do not know. We cannot say. So that is the fact. And the meaning of Mimamsa is, the verbal meaning is thinking or analyzing again and again, repeated analysis. Repeated analysis. That is the meaning of Mimamsa. When Acharyas repeatedly analyzed the first part or Purva Bhaga of Veda, Pura Mimamsa came into existence. And when Acharya did that repeated analysis based on the final part of Veda, Uttara Mimamsa came into existence. Purva means prior and Uttara post or last or final. So when final part of Veda, that is Vedanta, is analyzed, Uttara Mimamsa or Vedanta Darshana came into existence. And that was written in aphorisms by Badarayana Maharshi. So Brahma Sutras, it is called Uttara Mimamsa Sutra. And it was Jaimini Maharshi who wrote the Pura Mimamsa Sutras. So he is the Darshanakara of Pura Mimamsa. The subject matter is the first part of Veda, that is Karma Kanda of Veda. So the meaning of Mimamsa is repeated analysis, repeated thinking. Yes, I think it is clear. Now we can conclude with this. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.